So we are, on the other hand, looking at setting minimum price. As we said, we are looking at price legislation. Price legislation, we said, it has two parts. It has the maximum price and the minimum price. Legislation means government is the one which dictates the price for the commodity. So it sets two prices. One is called the minimum price, another maximum price. Maximum price is set for consumers, to protect the consumers. Then minimum price is set for the producer. So is the setting minimum price. And sometimes this one is called price floor. If you can recall, with the maximum price, we say it's price ceiling. So when you look at these two, this is ceiling, this is floor. So this is price floor. This is price ceiling. This is price ceiling. So we have looked at the maximum price, which is price ceiling. Don't go beyond the ceiling. You have reached the ceiling. You don't go beyond that. Price floor means where we are standing is the floor. So they set a price which is the lowest. You can't go below. It is illegal to go below the floor. I think when you go below the floor, you are dying or you are dead. So practically we say don't go below the floor and don't go below the ceiling. That's why we say setting minimum price. This is price floor. We looked at the other one, it was price ceiling, which we have just concluded under price legislation. So, setting minimum price. What is minimum price? You say this is where government sets a price for a commodity below which it is illegal to buy from the producer, stroke seller. That is what we call price floor or minimum price. The lowest price that is set. And below that price, you are not supposed to buy from the consumer. On the other side, we are saying the producer, seller is not supposed to sell to the consumer above that price. Here we are saying this is a producer, mainly of agricultural commodities, but even in others. If I'm the producer, I'm the manufacturer, you want to buy from me to take to the consumer, you are not supposed to buy or to give me a price which is below the set price. And the set price is the minimum price. So we say it is set in the interest of the producer, and it is set above the equilibrium. It is set above the equilibrium. So there are two issues here which we'll consider. It is set in the interest of the producer, and it is set above. It's very important. Here we say it's set price by the government, and it is illegal, not allowed. Once government has set it, we know that it is a government legislation. Government has the powers to control the prices. Therefore, it becomes illegal, unacceptable legally to buy from the producer at a price which is below the set price. That is why you can't forget this word illegal. It becomes illegal to buy from the producer below that price, because you are at the floor. It has given you the minimum you should charge. You should buy the commodity. You see, it is in the interest of the producer. But here we say it is in the interest of the producer, and it is set above the equilibrium. So we are going to have a diagram here which is going to show us this is supply, demand, supply. And this here we have the price, origin, quantity. So we get the equilibrium price, where the equilibrium price is that. Corresponding with the equilibrium output, I should use override P equilibrium price, QE equilibrium output. So when government is setting a minimum price, it is set above the equilibrium, and it is very important to master that. Very, very important to master this aspect, that with the minimum, which is maximum, which is ceiling is below the equilibrium. Actually, it works in the opposite. Ceiling is below the equilibrium, whereas floor, the lowest, is above the equilibrium. So government sets the maximum price, and this is the maximum price. This is a minimum price. Minimum price and the output. This is the minimum price that has been set by government. It is set above the equilibrium. You are not supposed to set it below. You are protecting the consumer. This has been the equilibrium point where the demand and supply meet. Where the demand and supply meet is where we get the equilibrium price. And now when government comes in to set, it will set that minimum price above the equilibrium. Above the equilibrium. That means it is going to result into something. At this set price, at that set price, we realize that the demand has been here, and they have been intersecting with the supply. The demand and supply, they have intersected. After intersection, now we are seeing something else. We are seeing that with this set price, going back to the law of demand, the higher the price, the less the demand. So the demand reduces. Call this one Q1. And now you can see A and B. At that price, following the supply law, the supply has been here. Now after setting the minimum price, the suppliers are ready to supply more commodities, more output, more products, because the price is above. It is encouraging the suppliers to sell more. So we are seeing that the supply, after the set price, the demand reduces from where it has been here, that is Q, the equilibrium quantity, to A. It reduces. But now, since it is reducing, that means they are going to buy less of the commodity. So there is this reduction. Whereas after the minimum price is set, there is an increased supply. From equilibrium price going forward, it shows the increase in the supply of the commodity. Why is the supply increasing? Because the set price is above. Government has increased the price for the commodities. That means if a seller was keeping behind some output, waiting to sell in the future, now he is encouraged to sell more at that high price. So this minimum price has reduced, has created an increase in quantity supplied. That's why it comes here. Whereas at the same time, that price before the consumer, it is now higher. So the consumer feels that the price is high, I cannot buy that quantity. If they have set it at that price, let me reduce the quantity I'm buying. So at that price, the quantity supposed to be consumed is at A. That is the quantity reducing to Q1. Because the price has gone up and we have the law of demand. When the price is up, demand reduces, so it has reduced. So with the minimum price, the consumer is saying, for me I can only buy this quantity at the government set price. Whereas at the same time, the supplier is saying, thank you government for increasing the price for our product. We are now ready to increase the supply from Q, equilibrium Q, to the Q, this is the, can you call this one Q2. We are ready to increase it to Q2. We move away from the equilibrium. They move to Q2. This is an increase for the supplier. This is a reduction. You see now what is happening in the market. The buyers are withdrawing. The suppliers are bringing more commodities. While the suppliers bring more commodities, is because they want to enjoy the high price which has been set by the government. Why do we call it high? Because it's above the equilibrium that has been ruling in the market. On the other hand, the consumers are saying, this is too much, and by law of demand, since government you have increased the price for this product, we are reducing the demand. So that's why it moves to Q1. That's what is going to be bought. And that is the effect. Now, before you look what we interpret this diagram and all the adjustments that have come about, we have to look at the reasons. I think I can do a whole part of this. So we say reasons for setting the minimum price. Reasons. Why does government come out to set the minimum price? So we are looking at the reasons behind setting the minimum price. And as we said earlier, this minimum price is what's supposed to be ruling in the market once it is set. But what reason does government have to set this minimum price? What forces it to set it? There must be a reason, or there must be reasons, and one is to protect the producers against exploitation. Against exploitation. Against the exploitation of the consumers. So, the consumers are being exploited, especially if it is agricultural commodities where they know that they are perishable. They will give them very low price. Even the equivalent price will be generally low. That's why government comes in and say, no, these people are being exploited. Let us put the price at a higher level. So it is to protect against exploitation by the buyers, those who buy from them. Then another one is to encourage more production. You can see that when the minimum price was set, this was the equilibrium. After setting the minimum price, the suppliers increased the production from QE to Q2. We can even put it here in a bracket, QE to Q2. That is an increase in the output. So to increase production, why? Because the price is higher than the normal one. That is the equilibrium one. So government now has encouraged, has motivated the producers to produce more because the price has been put at a higher level. So that is the reason why they set the minimum price. Then also to increase government revenue through increase the output. Through increase the output. Now they have produced more. So if you are charging sales tax, that is or any tax that you are charging, you are now charging it on an increased amount of commodities, especially the indirect taxes. Now you have more commodities to tax because producers have increased their production. So government revenue increases through that. And this one also brings in another reason to allow full exploitation, of resources. People have not been producing as they should because the price is low. Someone who has 5 acres of land says, now I can't plant 2 acres because the price is low. Now that the price has been set and it has been set at a higher level, a higher price, the farmers are encouraged to clear now all the land. The man is now going to clear all the 5 acres. That means he's exploiting now the resources that have been left redundant because of the low prices. This equilibrium is lower. Now that the price has gone up, he goes on to make sure that all possible resources are fully utilized. If the prices remain low, that exploitation will not be able, not be achieved. Another one is to reduce income inequalities. To reduce income inequalities among the producers. Among the producers have they have income inequalities depending, this is income inequalities, depending on what the producer is producing. So, those ones who have poor commodity prices, they'll have lower incomes. Now, when you put it at this level, that means all of them are going to sell at the same price. So, this business of saying, they cheated me, they bought from me at a lower price, for you are lucky, the income will be different. Now, it is income, equal income. At least it reduces, we use the word to reduce income inequality. You can't eliminate it, but you reduce the gap. Economists usually struggle to reduce the gap of income inequality, but not necessarily doing away with the inequalities. So this minimum price is going to help the producers to have at least all of them selling at the same price without anybody exploiting them, and that absence of exploitation will definitely lead to reduction in income inequality. So we move to another reason. Reason number 6 is to improve on the producers standard of living, SOL, standard of living, to improve on the producer's standard of living. When you have got enough income, as you have said, that the income now has gone up, that means you have a variety of commodities to purchase. You have many commodities that you are going to buy. Either in a quantity of what you have been buying, it will increase, or to save, to get more money and buy other products. When you buy other products, what does it mean? That now you are having a high standard of living. Because the high standard of living is measured in the quality and the quantity of commodities that you are using. That is the standard of living. What are you taking? How much are you taking of that? And what is the quality of what you are taking? We consider both the quantity and quality. When we talk of quantity, we are talking about distribution. How much do you get out of the national cake or whatever is produced? Then what is the quality of that? By increasing the prices of the consumers, the producers, they will be able to buy commodities, variety of commodities, which will help them to get higher standard of living. Then another is in case we say that in number 7, reasons to increase the level of exports, which in turn will improve the balance of payment position. This one is under international trade. So once you increase this price, this is by setting it above the equilibrium, you have increased the price. By increasing the price, you are encouraging more production. As you encourage more production, in case you are dealing in exports, where you have set the minimum price is commodities for exports. In case they are exports, that means you are going to increase more exports. By increasing more exports, that means you are getting higher foreign revenue, foreign exchange. And once you get higher foreign exchange, that means the balance of payment position is going to be improved. So that is another reason why they set minimum price. Now, as I said, under maximum, still reasons. Once you have reasons, these are advantages and these are merits. So the reasons are advantages, merits, and so if they say what are the benefits, we are talking about advantages. What are the merits? What are the reasons? And the same way we talked about, when you are presenting reasons, we begin with the two. And when we say what are the advantages of setting minimum price, if the question has come, so what are the advantages of setting minimum price, or what are the demerits, or what are the positive reasons, positive factors. So these ones, they are the same points. It is only presentation that will differ. So when you say what are the positive, what are the advantages, what are the merits, we said reasons, we use two. And when we come to advantages, we use present simple. And we can change the very points which are here. We have said why is minimum price set? It is set to improve on the producer's standard of living. When you are presenting this as an advantage, the two changes and say it improves the producer's standard of living. So you see, it improves. Two is for reasons. Now, when you want to give the benefits, the advantages, the merits, we use it improves the producer's standard of living. So it improves the producer's standard of living. That's how you present it. Even in merits, you change this one, you present it in the present simple tense. It improves, it leads to this, it causes this. That's what happens. That's what you have to present. So these are the reasons, those are the merits, those are the advantages. However, it doesn't mean that setting minimum price doesn't have negative effects. So we are concluding this by looking at the negative effects. I was not supposed to rub off this, but we can rub off. These are reasons, and now saying we are looking at the negative effects of minimum price. These are disadvantages. And this is what we are going to look at. The high price, the high minimum price set sometimes, not sometimes, leads to decrease demand because it is set above the equilibrium. Because it is set above the equilibrium. So the high minimum price, we have said it is set above the equilibrium. So that means it will lead to decrease in demand, and we have already looked at that the demand is less. It has reduced because of the high price. So it has an advantage that the supply increased, but the demand reduced, and that has now that will lead to loss of demand. It has reduced because price has increased, and the low of demand, you know it, the higher the price, the lower the demand. So it reduces the demand because of the point at which it is set. So that is a disadvantage, that is a demerit, that is a negative effect. Then once it leads to producer exploitation through illegal buying at lower price. At lower prices. When you set that maximum price, the minimum price, the price is above the equilibrium. What does that one mean? That the producer is going to be happy that the government has given them high price, but the demand is going to be less. And what is likely to happen is that nobody is going to buy these commodities unless government buys them. But if it is the individuals buying, you find that they are not buying. So at the end of the day, the producers will be persuading the consumers or the buyers, please buy from me. Now, a kilogram of, say, tomatoes, if a kilogram of tomatoes had been put at 2,000 government minimum price, you may find that people are not buying, and the producers are looking for those who can pay them 1,000 shillings to buy a kilogram. The set price is higher, but now the buyers will say, you go to government and it buys those things. If the government cannot buy, the buyers will buy at a lower price. And that is a consumer exploitation. So there is that situation where consumers may be exploited through lower prices that are bought, at which commodities are bought. Then in the long run, it may result into reduced production due to the illegal prices at which the products are bought. That's what you're going to find, that in the long run it may result into reduced production due to the illegal prices at which production is bought. That's what I've just said. That once the price is high, demand is going to reduce, and the producers will be looking for who can buy, for people who can buy their commodities at lower price. Say, forget about what government has said. You pay me this, you buy at this, so they will be buying at lower price, not the one which government has said. And this one, in the long run, is going to discourage the producers, and they will slowly by slowly they will be giving up production. And in the long run, you will find that the production has almost disappeared. Yes, we say if minimum price is set on many commodities, it may cause inflation. Which finally, we use the word which ultimately may affect production. Yes, inflation usually, once it comes in, people may go for speculation and abandon production. But what was the cause? Because government set prices, minimum prices for various commodities, and when it is setting these prices, normally government sets minimum and maximum prices for key commodities, most important commodities, most used commodities, most produced commodities. That means, finally, if many commodities are affected, these prices, you see, they are all set above the equilibrium. Meaning that if the economy has been operating at this point and most of the commodity prices go up to this level, this has been the equilibrium price. And government sets prices for, say, over 20 commodities are high because it will be higher. That means you are moving away from this point of equilibrium and you are causing prices for the general price level to rise because you have set minimum prices for various commodities. So government has to be very careful when setting these minimum prices. If it is done on several commodities, that means the government itself is causing inflation in the country. And once this inflation comes in, as we shall see ahead when we are considering the topic of inflation, once inflation comes into the country, for whatever cause, or from whatever cause, it will finally lead to production reduction. There is a reduction in the production. And once that reduction is there, that means finally people go into speculation. Because producers have abandoned production, they go into speculation. Speculation usually discourages real production, and finally the economy is going to suffer with so many other aspects of the economy: unemployment, low tax revenue, low pace of development, planning becomes so many problems that will come up. Why? Because inflation has come in. So that is another negative aspect of minimum price. So generally, those are some of the negative effects of minimum price. And what a student, you as a student, have to know when you are looking at this is to know what minimum price is, what means maximum price. But before you get to know that, you have to have it in mind that it is only government that sets the minimum and the maximum price. The private individuals don't. Possibly what they do is what we looked at under price determination. Resale price maintenance, prefixing of prices for their commodities, or leaving it to forces of demand and supply. And this minimum and maximum prices come in when the economy is not free market economy, when it is a mixed economy. That means as it is mixed, there is a part that is controlled by the state. When the state realizes that the private individuals are using the forces of demand and supply, and there is some exploitation of either the producer or the consumer, government comes in to intervene. You look at it when you're looking at the price mechanism. Government comes in to intervene and say, no, let us not allow free enterprise, free economy. Let us intervene by setting a minimum price for producers and a maximum price for the consumers. So that's what as a student, you must know. It starts with government legislation, that is government legislating the prices for the commodities. Then in the legislation, we have the minimum and the maximum prices. Minimum for producers, maximum for consumers. And then you have to look at what their definitions are. Then after looking at the definitions, you look at the reasons why government does so. Why does it set minimum price? Why does it set maximum price? Then after that, you look at the negative. The reasons we have said are the positive. Then the negative aspects of the minimum and the maximum. If you finish that at the level of A level, you would have done what we call the basics of price legislation. And you wait when you go to higher institutions like university. There are certain things that you add on, but that gives you the backup ground, that gives you the foundation of what you're going to add on when you go to higher institutions. So that is about the price legislation. We came to it as we are looking at how prices are determined in the economy.